for us to move our capital from Buea. I am not going to go into the details, but I would like you to start having this in the back of your mind. There may arise the necessity to temporarily move our capital from Buea to a new location where we can exercise effective both physical and psychological control.
What I'm suggesting now would be the change of capitals. What we are saying here is power decreases as distance increases. In other words, power increases as distance decreases. This means Buea, if you look at the shortest and the most close capital to La République du Cameroun, it is Buea. The shortest, it is just 30 minutes away from La République du Cameroun. Buea, the capital, is 30 minutes away. That means any military truck can crisscross from Douala into Buea within a speed of a second and do anything, inflict any harm, and go back to La République du Cameroun without anyone protesting. Now, this is where I come in. If you have a capital that is vulnerable, very, very vulnerable to your own citizens, vulnerable to the praise, to your enemies, please do consider changing that capital. It is not all about fighting and fighting and fighting without any strategy. We have to roll out a strategy that will change the capital from Buea to some other place. You can name it, maybe Kumbo. Kumbo, for example, is the heartland of opposition in Ambazonia. Kumbo, for example, is the heartland for anything that comes to anti-Buea or anti-La République. We can change it to Bamenda, for example. Here is the hook, and here is the strategy. If we move this capital from Buea to, for example, Bamenda, the people of Bamenda, being so resistant and who are the biggest opposition to Mr. Buea's rule, would hold that capital to its teeth, and Mr. Buea himself would panic. And you have caused a confusion here because for the first reason, Buea would try as much as possible to dissuade his attention from Buea to Bamenda. I don't want to explain more. I can explain more at the background of this strategy because I believe La République terrorists are watching me keenly and following exactly what I'm saying. Now, if we change this capital from Buea to Bamenda, it would boost morale. It would increase intentions and international attention about what Ambazonians are doing. Ambazonians are about changing the capital from Buea to some other place for a strategic reason. Now it gives the international media some kind of an attention hook on Ambazonia to know exactly what is happening. What are these guys up to? We are up to something, and we are following our national and international laws. As simple as it is, Buea itself is very close to Tico, and Tico is close to Douala. It is easy for me to cross from Douala to Buea in the twinkling of an eye. It is very easy for anyone to crisscross from Buea to Douala without any blink. But it is very difficult for anyone to cross from La République du Cameroun into Bamenda or into Kumbo, for example. It is very difficult for anyone to cross from any part of La République into Kumbo or into Bamenda because you have to pass through the West region, and the West region right now is in opposition against Mr. Buea. You have to pass through Bamenda, which of course the roads are very, very bad. It will slow down your progress and it will give us time for us to prepare against the enemy.